Three, two, one. Hey, everybody, this is Victor. I am here with Chris. We're going to be talking about how Chris went from beginner to his first 30K net profit flip in less than a week. So want to share his journey, but without further ado, wanted to introduce Chris. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Victor?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, really exciting story with you, and that's why I wanted to hop on here and share your journey. And it's been a short journey. I think we've worked together a total of 2 weeks or something really, really short like that. And you've taken off like a rocket. Already got a deal under contract, closing here pretty soon. So just wanted to get into it. But let's start with this. What's your background?
Background in real estate.
Either background in real estate or professionally before real estate.
So I'm a coach. I coach boxing, Muay Thai, all that good jazz. Been looking at investing for a long time, actually. I did Rich Dad Poor Dad back when I was 17.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it was the wrong crowd that got a hold of me. It was the multi-level marketing people.
Oh.
And it basically gave me the limiting beliefs of you need to be rich to be in real estate. So I never thought about real estate until probably about 3 years ago, I'd say.
Okay. So 3 years ago, so that's unfortunate. I know we talked about that briefly. You had the program and didn't work for you, or what happened there?
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was a program my wife and I signed up for about 2 years ago. They're more of a education program, but they are focused on real estate. So they do real estate tax strategies, just all these little general courses. And then they have these higher tier programs that are this is how you flip, this is how you would burr, this and that. And they focus a lot on what they even want you to do is as a business, sell their education as a business write-off. And they focus so heavily on that. It's every week we only talked about education that we were learning in their courses, but we didn't actually apply it. We didn't go out, actually do deals or anything. So I just felt kind of stuck there with that.
Okay, so that wasn't working out. So I assume you broke away from the program, just wasn't a fit, wasn't getting you where you wanted to go. So what were some of the things before we met? What were some of the things you feel you needed help with to actually get into real estate, get into flipping?
More or less just kind of the confidence of having a second opinion of, okay, I'm doing the right thing, or a second pair of eyes looking over a deal to make sure I'm not skipping something. Because obviously, this is kind of the first time I'm doing it. I have an idea of what I'm doing, but I've never done it before. So I know it in theory, not in practice.
Yeah, no, I like that perspective. You get a second person, a third party, because sometimes you want to do a deal so bad, you force the deal and it's not a good deal. But to have that third party, okay, hey, this is a deal, this isn't a deal. Or when you do have a good deal, you have the confidence to pull the trigger and be okay, cool, I'm comfortable moving forward to make this happen.
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, and then I think remind me, but was it funding as well you needed help with, or wanted some?
Yes, definitely with funding. Kind of problem with the previous program I was in is if you didn't buy their 20 grand top tier thing, all the people who were involved didn't want to invest with you because they didn't take you serious. It's okay, I'm out doing deals. You guys are sitting here talking, I need to find a group that's like-minded. So, we were, I think within a day of me coming to you with that deal, we were already talking about okay, this is what you need to do. These are the people you need to ask. This is how you need to ask, that type deal. And just that alone, I found funding, I think within 24 hours.
Yeah. So let's get into that. So you joined the program. So, you and I have been working together. It's been about 2 weeks. And what I realized, was it 1 week? Okay.
I signed up last weekend. So
it was last week. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think you've beaten the record so far, quickness, speed to a deal. So I think we had our kickoff call, which is just a one-on-one call, just to make sure you're properly oriented, and you got a deal that weekend or something like that. Because I remember we were going over hey, this is repair budget. Hey, this is what I got for ARV, what you can sell it for. Can you kind of talk everyone through that? What was your experience on your side of things, getting the deal under contract?
Yeah, so I reached out to a friend of mine who's a wholesaler, and he sent me kind of a list of what he had. and he had just gotten this contract, and I was just looking it over. The ARV looked good on it. The purchase price, I think it was like, yeah, it was a $55,000 purchase price. He was estimating about $15,000 on the rehab, and his appraisal estimate was $105,000.
Okay.
So then I just contacted him, kind of asked him general questions like, hey, what needs to be fixed? Can I kind of figure out an itemized list of kind of like what this would cost, what that would cost? So like the roof needs to be repaired, for example, $6,000. Paints down there, I know is pretty cheap. I know interior, I can get it for about $1 to $2 a square foot. The property is 1,288 square feet, so it's roughly $2,600 at most if I'm doing $2 a square foot. So just having an itemized list like that, and then contacting you, and the experienced person, me being like, hey, these numbers look good to you. They sound good to me, but I'm worried that I might be missing something. So that's when you got back to me and you said, hey, this looks like a good deal, and just moved forward and pulled the trigger on that.
Awesome. No, I remember that because you sent me the deal, and like there were your numbers there, and my numbers were like almost the exact same. Like we were, coming at it from the same angle, like thinking the same thing. Okay, so awesome. So I was able to help there. I'm glad I was able to add value in that sense. So you got under contract, and then the next hurdle was the funding. So what happened there? What was your experience there?
So kind of to give a little backstory to that, we're doing a refi from a BRRRR deal that we did last year. It was kind of our first deal. So all of our funds are locked up. Okay. And what I needed was $2,000 to get this under contract. And then with my lender, they wanted additional, I think it was $2,500 for the closing costs. They're going to fund 100% rehab and purchase.
Great.
So I needed to come in with basically about $5,000 total. So at that point, it was kind of, I reached out to friends and family first, just basically saying, hey, I have an opportunity for you guys to make money by investing your money in me.
Yeah.
As long as I can get you more than what the stock market would be getting you, it's a win-win situation. So I think what we offered was to borrow $5,000, we'd pay back $6,000 in 6 months, which if you were to break that down on an annualized basis, that's like a 40% return on your investment. And there's no way you're getting that in stock market, or I don't know what you can get that in other than real estate. So I ended up having a friend get back to me on that, and he said he'd like to take the opportunity. We talked about how we wanted to do the loan. So since he was a personal friend, he was okay with the unsecured loan with just basically a promissory note saying I'd pay him back $6,000 in 6 months or less. So even potential to get even higher return on his investment, obviously, if I were to pay him back in a month.
Yeah.
And then there's also contingency in there that if I'm late by any means, I owe him an additional $1,000. So.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Huh.
Yeah, but we did also entertain the, securing it as essentially a second mortgage on the property itself, so that if I were to default, he could technically foreclose. But he didn't want to do the extra paperwork, so he went with the easier route in that terms.
No, that's smart, especially if the trust is there. Like there's a lot of like legal fees behind like writing it up properly and like recording it sometimes if the person feels more confident that way.
Right.
Okay, so you guys got it. So I remember you asking me for advice, like, hey, I need 5,000. And I was like, okay, do two things. Reach out to friends, family, because that's going to be the easiest. And the second thing was to post in it. We have this like little inner circle group, which is like all my paid students, just to, like, help each other out. And do you remember the response? Like, I know you eventually got the money from your friend there, which is great. Do you remember the response you got, like, once you posted it in our little inner circle group?
I do. So the inner circle group got back to me. So here's the reason why I broke it down this way. I hit up family first. I waited 12 hours. Then I asked friends. Waited 12 more hours. Then I asked the group, only because as an investor, I wanted to give the opportunity to friends and family first before I reach out to people who I technically don't know, even though, you're building an awesome community and a team. I just wanted to give friends and family the opportunity first. as soon as I posted it in the group, I started getting messages and feedback right away, which of course my friend got back to me, I think a minute after I made that post.
Oh,
So I was like, because, but just the fact that people were willing to, help me out and at least talk about terms and whatnot, that in itself gave me a lot of confidence in the program, the group itself. Because, like I said earlier, I did not get that from my previous group at all. I don't know who I would be able to contact in that group and be like, hey, I got a deal. Do you want to look over it? But yeah, I mean, I actually just got off a call with one of the other students,
Great.
I think 5 minutes before our call.
Yeah.
And we had a great conversation, and looking forward to doing future deals with other students.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember you posted like within a couple hours, I think I saw 5 responses like, yes, I'm in, I'm ready to, give you the funds, like let's hop on a call. So how do you feel about that sort of thing, kind of moving forward? Because I know before your hesitation was like, oh, can I get the funding for all these deals? Like, how do you feel about the funding for future deals?
Very, very confident now. Our goal is to do at least 4 flips in the next year. Mm-hmm. Kind of after that confidence boost, I almost want to make that 4 flips by the end of this year.
Oh, okay.
So doing half a year instead of a full year. So I really want to try to get the ball rolling on that. And just like having that type of response was definitely like, okay, if I need like a little bit of a safety net, at least I can reach out to people and,
mm-hmm.
Present opportunities.
Oh, for sure. No, I like that. Because I know your goal is eventually to get 1 flip a month, and that like does a lot for you and your family. So we'll get you there, but we got to, get through this flip first, and we'll scale up. But yeah, you're in a really good place. Cool. No, really excited. And to loop everyone in, like you have this deal under contract, it's closing soon. We're talking about that 30K net. That's like a net profit, potential profit, I should say. It's like a potential profit. So we'll see how it shakes out. It might be higher, it might be lower, but that's like a good, potential. And it might be higher, actually. I think we were talking about this before, and like the ARV you were getting was pretty conservative, right?
Yeah. So running the comps on it, and mind you, in this particular town, almost all the houses are 3-bed, 2-bath or smaller. Mm-hmm. This property is one of the very few 4-bed, 2-bath. So kind of rare property. All the comps are the 3-bed, 2-bath, around the same square footage. My low-end comp was 100,000. My mid-tier comp, that was about 130,000, and the high-end, I think, it was either 155 or 159,000. Mm-hmm. So on a conservative level, we were guessing about 105,000 for the appraisal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, exciting stuff. So it might be more than the 30, which is really exciting. Okay, well, that in mind, and that's fantastic progress, because it's been, just like you said, it's barely been a week. Right. With that in mind, like, would you recommend others work with me as well?
Oh, for sure. Highly recommend it.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. And I mean, you're like a really good success story, because like you've made it happen so fast, and I'm really excited to see like where you go in the future. It's going to go up, and this is just the first of many. So really excited to help you on your journey. And then, why should someone listening take action now?
Well, I mean, probably one of the best quotes I've heard over the years with real estate investing is, the best time to invest was yesterday. The next best time is to invest today, and the worst time is to invest tomorrow. Yeah, so I like it. My wife and I were kind of stuck in that education phase for about 2 years before we decided to do the BRRRR last year. When I say education, we were basically buying books and reading every book we could, not just that previous program. What tends to happen when you're doing that is you get into that analysis paralysis stage. And if you don't learn how to pull the trigger and just move forward, you're going to be stuck there. Mm-hmm. I've heard you say it. I've heard a lot of people say it. The hardest, but the most important deal is that first deal. Once that's out of the way, a lot more confidence going forward.
No, I love it. Yeah. So the first one is your hardest. Once you do that first one, like something clicks for people, and it's like, okay, great. And it just becomes a machine. Like a ton of students, like they got their first one. Okay. Second one, third one, fourth one. I can't even keep up with all they've got going on in a good way, because they're out there, doing really well. So excited to see you do the same. As we wrap up here, and I very much appreciate you doing this, Chris, just to share with everyone how well you've been doing. As we wrap up, any final thoughts, any final insights you want to share with everyone?
I mean, just obviously pay attention to the course, take down notes, and it's not difficult. It's simple, but it is hard. You're going to do hard work to get this. The main thing is just keep moving forward and trust the process. Don't expect your first deal to be a home run. A baseball game isn't won with home runs. It's won with base hits. So as long as you can get on base, you're good.
I like the baseball analogy. Like even if you bunt, you get on base. Even if you get hit by the ball, that's you get on base. So
exactly.
Singles win ball games. Yeah, I like it. Well, fantastic. Well, this has been a pleasure, Chris. I appreciate it. Really appreciate you taking the time. Really, again, I'm here to help throughout your real estate journey, but I'm excited that you've made it so far so quickly.
Yeah, thanks, Victor. I really appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Till next time.